Okay. Hello everyone. Today we're going to respond to a video by the Graville Institute, and we're being joined by ConnorSays and Rohan from Twitter, or as Rohan likes to call himself, Invictus Media. So, hi guys. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Connor, and I'm better than the other people here.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm Rohan, and what he just said is bullshit.
Wait, fudge. I forgot to say that I didn't want anyone to swear in this stream because it's a PG, but it's
Family friendly, huh?
Family friendly.
Okay. Well, ignore that.
That's fine.
now,
It's fine.
long.
It's fine. I won't swear from now.
Yeah, no swearing from now. Also,
I swear a lot on my Twitter, dude. So don't follow my Twitter if you don't like swearing. I swear a lot on my Twitter. The second gun on Twitter. That's fine.
Yeah, I follow the rules on Twitter now because like I have too many accounts deleted at this point.
Just create a new one, dude.
Okay, so
yeah, let's get to the video.
Yeah, get to the video. Who's screen sharing?
All right, yeah, I'm screen sharing. So let me just share. So, yeah, well, yep. So I guess like there's some tweets here. I'm gonna. All right, so hurry up with the share. Let's see. And there's pretty sure it's this one. Okay, so this is some of the Twitter like trying to like talk about some South African. So let's see. Yep. This is the video. So I guess we'll like start with this. Wait, can you guys hear?
I can't hear it.
No, I don't think we can.
Okay, let me just. Alright, so let me just check that.
Red Phoenix Rises? I've heard of him.
I've
heard of Red Phoenix Rises.
Oh yeah, what did you?
He responded to the same video.
Oh yeah. I was actually about to like talk about Red Phoenix Rises, but okay, let me just. Wait, I'm gonna like. Wait, can you hear it now?
No, I think what you have to do is stop sharing again, and then when you share again, click share audio as well.
Okay. Yeah. Good point. Let's see. Oh yeah, share audio like here. Oh my.
Yeah.
I assume you still can't hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, then let me try again.
Do you have any like external speakers?
Like the thing is, like there are two options. There's the entire screen, and then there's the window screen. Like I prefer the window screen because it'll. But again, with the entire screen, I can only like share audio. I'm gonna try the entire screen this time. Okay, so yeah. All right, so got it. So I'm gonna just do a check.
Of the free market, the thinking goes. Individuals.
Okay, then good then. All right, so I'll just do a.
Can you just full screen this? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
GG.
All right, good then.
If you're an American, you've probably heard this one before. Capitalism means freedom. With the free market, the thinking goes, individuals are empowered to make their own decisions. Sounds good, right? If you buy into this logic, then any alternative with more role for the public seems oppressive and tyrannical. One where other people make all the decisions for you. Appealing in theory. In practice, not true.
Let's see.
Our economy isn't about freedom at all, just the opposite. American capitalism today is defined by an overwhelming lack of freedom for the vast majority of people and incredible dictatorial power for a few people at the very top. That's because we have allowed big corporate monopolies to take over a lot of the work of government.
Okay, so she's going to be using the idea of monopolies and how they're quote unquote bad, even though I see there's a much more nuanced discussion that we can have about monopolies. But yeah, she's basically just going to say monopoly exists equals bad, but like continue on.
And
Yeah,
Also,
doesn't-
can you pause it for a second? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she just said that she said any role where the public makes the decisions seem oppressive. Yes, if the public is making decisions for you, which you should be making yourself, yeah, that's oppressive as hell. Like, what the hell is
Yeah.
wrong with you?
And also, there's one more point that I'd like to address after like this example that comes forth. Yeah, so continue the video.
Okay.
Institutions with private for-profit ones. They have gobbled up small and medium-sized businesses so they can set all the terms. You hear a lot about the freedom to choose, but what does that freedom really mean? Sure, we can choose between different eyeglass companies until we learn they're all owned by the same company behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, and this is interesting because all right, let's see. Do you have any problem like choosing between different eyeglasses? And also well, yeah, she's gonna pretty much repeat like all these different companies, owned by the same company, but like actually go on, Connor.
And moreover,
okay, you can go Rohan.
yeah, one thing I'd like to point out is that most of these sub brands compete with each other. Like, it's not like there's one person running all 5 of these companies. These people actually, like, they're owned by one person in that the profits go to one person, but they're vaguely connected to each other. So it's like disingenuous to say they're all run by one person.
Exactly.
She also brings up several soft drink companies in the next example, but like they're different soft drinks, for Christ's sake. If you don't like one, just drink another.
Yeah, and also like I think we need to like talk about like certain things where they're quote unquote monopolies when they're actually subsidiaries of like one company. So basically these multiple companies where she claims are companies that compete with each other but are owned by like the same people. Basically those two may be like subsidiaries of the parent company. So for example like Google is a subsidiary of like ABC, and also like I'd say one that's more relevant to this conversation would be like Taco Bell and KFC in America, where they're both subsidiaries where they're owned by the same people. But the thing is, like, the problem with monopolies generally is that that there's no other competition, and hence demand. Like with quote unquote monopoly, where like wait, you just swore again. Okay, I'll ignore that the second time. Sorry, but like,
mistake.
Sorry. Okay, so let's see, what was it saying? All right, so when they have like 100% of like the customer base and stuff, so if there's no one else like competing for them, they basically can increase prices since there's no one else to lower price, so the other people can buy them.
Yeah, and also the free market is set up in such a way that the emergence of a monopoly will coincide. Like, if a monopoly exists and it raises prices, other companies will just come into the market and lower prices. So really, government is like the main driver in creating monopolies as opposed to any corporation.
Okay, but like I'm gonna say like, right, so yeah, what was I about to say? Let's see, but now people think with the parent company controlling the subsidiaries that they basically are a monopoly in effect. But the thing is, monopoly is much better when you have much more direct control. But because there's too much like stuff like to control, and this leads to diseconomies of scale where like if you're like say have your headquarters in like New York, but your businesses are in like Texas or California, it's much harder to have direct control over them, and this can lead to diseconomies of scale where like business is less efficient. So in order to solve this, these profit-driven people will instead allocate the work to these different businesses, and then all right, so they'll allocate these allocate management of these different businesses to just local managers there, and these local managers may compete with each other, but guess what, the person owning these businesses, they don't care if they compete that much as long as one of them is successful enough to like bring a lot of the money in. So yeah, subsidiaries of the same parent company can compete in, or like, basically. So
Can I make a point? Can I make a quick point?
yeah.
So a lot of these progressives, like they claim a company is a monopoly when they're not actually a monopoly, and it's really pissing off. Like Robert Reich once made a video where he said Amazon is a monopoly because they have 50% of all e-commerce sales. That's not a monopoly, right?
That's what
Amazon is just competing with not only other e-commerce sites, but they're also competing with grocery stores, like every other store, right? And this is like a common trend I see among progressives like Gravel Institute and Robert Reich, whatever these dumb people.
Yeah, and also one thing is when they say monopoly, they really narrow down the market.
Yes.
Like a monopoly in which industry, so that they can say, look how much market share they have.
Yeah, it's like any successful company just becomes a monopoly because they're like rich.
Yeah.
That's not a monopoly.
Yeah. I think the criticism like comes from something more legitimate about the concept of oligopolies, where like much bigger firms can collude with each other to like increase prices and like lower output. But I don't think there's been any evidence that this has happened like with like the firms that they've been increasing. Like a collusion has like happened where they have like contractual agreements. They're often like private and like often like hidden from the government because collusion is illegal, but it does happen. But like even then there's still like problems with like oligopolies.
And if Amazon was a monopoly, do you know how expensive Amazon products would be?
Oh yeah.
It would be crazy expensive. Like it's not though. Like it's expensive, yeah, sure. But like at the same time, it would have been far more expensive had it actually been a monopoly. Because and it's very unlikely for them to become a monopoly because they're competing against so many things.
Okay. Yeah. I've also got like stuff about like how monopolies aren't necessarily all that bad, but like I actually first we'll continue a bit longer with the video.
Yeah, my apologies.
No, that's okay.
We can choose between Budweiser, Skoll, or Beck's beer, but they're all owned by the same company too.
Who cares about beer? Beer is bad. Beer is sinful.
And once again, like no one's struggling to buy beer. No one is going broke over buying beer.
Exactly.
This is what they say. They're all owned by one company, but she doesn't mention the prices or whether like beer is insanely expensive. No, she just says it's owned by one company.
And you still have choices. There are different beer company, different types of beer, right? Different tastes in beer. Some beer tastes
she doesn't say that they're all not perfect substitutes. Like people prefer one brand over another for a reason.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna continue on with this.
And when it comes to work, where most people spend most of their time, people don't have
not this argument. Continue.
Okay.
And when it comes to work, where most people spend most of their time, people don't have much freedom at all. Despite claims that workers freely enter into a contract to sell their labor, there's no free choice between working and not working. In a country like ours, where 40...
Wait, can you pause? There is a choice between working and not working. If you work, you get money. If you don't work, you stay home. That's your choice.
These clowns don't think of any alternative which that is not true. There is not a single... Okay, you can have a system like central planning in USSR where you're put in slave labor camps and the government tells you exactly what to work. Or you can have a free market system. But if you're complaining that if you don't work, you don't get money, yes, that's a natural consequence. That's like saying you're coerced into eating food because you get hungry. Like, that's not how it works. That's not what coercion is. I'm sick of this argument. I'm sorry for swearing again.
Oh my jeez. Okay, but this... try and like lower down your swearing, but like try and not swear in future streams. But anyway, I do feel coerced into like.
Another point to add is that they say that you have a choice between working and not working. Not only is this under capitalism, but under any economic system.
Exactly.
For the standard of living to improve, production needs to occur, and for production to occur, people need to work because one of the 4 factors of production is labor. So I'd like to know which economic system that this person provides where the production occurs without one of the 4 factors.
And a lot of these guys also advocate for like what worker ownership, which is fine under a capitalist system. You can start a worker co-op, but even then, you either work or you starve. Like that's always going to happen. If you don't produce, you're not going to make money unless you want
Honestly,
to live in, like a hunter-gatherer society, which that you still have to work, otherwise you won't get food.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I'm coerced into breathing oxygen.
Yeah, same. So
All right,
hard.
but like,
So
what else was I about to say? Oh yes, actually no. Even then, the idea of if you don't work, you starve. What about starting a business? You have the freedom to start a business, and there's a reason why these people don't want to start a business. It's because, it's because businesses are very like have a high chance of being very unsuccessful. Like they within like 3 years, a business would be like unprofitable for at least roughly maybe 3 years. Like, and also like that's just and also the within 10 years, like was it? I think only 30% of businesses are still there. And so you get all of this like trouble with like businesses like high costs and no guarantee like no guarantee of getting an income because and the reason these businesses like stay for so long when they're even though they're unprofitable is because they have to like borrow money from the banks and but with like labor what you get is what a guaranteed wage you get wage stability
security.
that's yeah, that's why when you see like those extremely successful businesses that have so much wealth, so much profit, they're very rare. And the reason they get high profit is because they took extremely high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward. Simple as.
It's like these socialists always claim that these business owners never work, and it's so stupid. Oh my god.
Yeah, also, I don't know. Maybe you could also like hunt or something. Like
Hunter guys. Yeah, but you still have to work. If you don't work, you won't get the stuff you need to get food, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to you have to work. No matter what, you have to work. You cannot complain about work. You can complain about other things, but like if you complain that you have to work, that's not how it works. You can complain whether you want more freedom in the job. That's a different thing. But complain that you have to work on it is just completely moronic.
Okay, let me just like close my door because my mom keeps on like coming in.
Yeah, you can continue the video now.
Yep.
8% of people working and not working in a country like ours, where 40% of people can't scrape together $400 in an emergency. The reality.
Wait, can you pause the video for 1 second?
Yep.
Yeah, so a YouTuber called Kirk Wilcox has a good breakdown of this statistic where he talks about how this report factors in after all payments that a person needs to make, such as debt and whatnot, and loans they have to repay.
Yeah, and also this is AJW is basically break this down, but like we can explain it here. All right, so basically, this when 40% of people say that they can't have $400, they don't have like $400 in an emergency. That doesn't mean much since basically those people during that emergency can basically ask the bank for like £400, and then they can pay it back over time. So they basically like this like statistic is very misleading, and even then like AJW, yeah, when I mean AJW I mean Actual Justice Warrior, like yeah, check him out, he's a like really great channel. Yeah, he basically break down how like this the statistics like have changed like over time. The left have been apparently been very inconsistent about this. So like even with this 40% number, it's we can't even like tell if that's actually really accurate. I'm also gonna like ask like people to like check out like other channels like Red Phoenix Rises and also Toasted's new channel. By the way, Connor, like why did you say like Red Phoenix Rises? Did you like see a video of this or something?
Yeah, I saw a thumbnail that he reacted to this video.
Yeah, right, yeah, I'm actually like friends with him. So yeah, I was planning on actually like talking about his channel here in this stream anyway. So Yeah, let's continue.
Can't scrape together $400 in an emergency. The reality is that you either work or you starve.
Well, obviously we've already debunked this, but anyway.
Every
Wait, I'd like to pose a question. What else do you do? Like, can someone suggest a third alternative between work and starve? Like, does someone just hand you money?
Die. Simple.
Where
Stop
does that money
breathing.
come from? Somebody has to work. So that you're creating a more exploitative system if you're forcing some people to work, but other people are not working and they get the fruits of their labor. That's textbook definition of exploitation, which socialists you usually agree to when it comes to worker and the owner dynamic. But it's weird that they believe that sort of system is justified.
Yeah. Okay.
Months to take time off and carefully choose a good employer. In order to survive, people submit to working menial, unrewarding jobs for little pay, no security, and bad benefits.
Okay. Actually, wait. Let me just continue with
this. And once they're
okay, so she said basically
a good employer. In order to survive, people submit to working menial, unrewarding jobs.
These working unmenial jobs of say what she's showing is things like working on spreadsheets and office jobs. Here's the thing, they're much better than what it was 100 years ago with things sorry, there might be some stuff in the background. They're much better than the very high labor intensive jobs that were what way longer than 8 hours, that that would basically hurt you a lot physically, where you might get into a few accidents. But thankfully, thanks to public school, well, increased education, and that's one of the few things I am for a public system, public service for. But even then, there are problems there. But that's allowed us over time to become more skilled, which allowed a good percentage of the population to take these office jobs. Sure, they may be boring, but they're actually a lot more comfortable, and things like data and they do have their uses. As I'll say that.
Again, I'd like to pose a question. What's your alternative? If you're arguing that, look, I understand if you want to sometimes getting a better job means you'll have to work if I'm in university and I'm not able to make as much money, maybe I'll have to work, let's say, a part-time job. But what's your alternative? What alternative are you posing? Are you posing a system where you can have a salary equivalent to a job all while, but that's not going to incentivize work anymore if you're going to have that thing already done for you? So what's your alternative? What you just keep posing an array of problems, but you don't produce any solutions, or any solutions that are even meaningful. You produce dumb solutions like abolishing rent or whatever, or abolishing landlords, or you just want to abolish stuff.
And it's not even that, it's that she's bad in justifying why it's a problem. Let's take the burger example she gave. How else would you suggest that restaurant makes burgers?
She actually, yes,
labor is exploitative, but she doesn't suggest how the product should be produced.
Actually, I believe there may be there are certain end goal communists who believe that eventually society will be able to advance machinery to the point that we don't need to work. But even then, that will create a new problem.
It's even worse,
where because assuming that's possible, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not sure myself. But then that will create a lot of meaninglessness. Let's be honest here. Suffering, hard work, that gives meaning to the moments where we actually enjoy things. If every time is low key, where you could subject yourself to what was it, dopamine neurons, and just being lazy and all that, having no strife, no suffering, then those so-called happy moments, they lose all their value to you. You don't see them as important. But when you work for 8 hours, and it makes you start to actually makes you actually consider like having those happy moments, those your like freedom, your lunch break. It makes it more valuable to you. You appreciate it more.
Also, like a situation where there's a large scale like loss of labor because of automation and people don't work these menial jobs is something we're trying to avoid. Is that the whole reason why Andrew Yang is running his platform? We don't want large, like obviously at the end of the day we want like robots are good, right? But at the same time we don't want like there to be a huge loss. We want to like contain the losses as much as possible when it comes to like these jobs, because people live on these jobs.
Well, how do we know robots are good, bro? I mean, no. Oh, Connor, I keep on forgetting which. I keep on. I'm an accent racist. I can't tell the difference between your accents. But sorry. But anyway, like, how do we? What about like Skynet and all, and also like the Sentinels from X-Men? Like, we can't trust the machines. I'm going full Tucker Carlson here. The machines, they were good for us until like now when they're doing those darn machines.
Yeah, and once again, like you'll inevitably need humans there in the process of production.
Yeah, humans will create more technology.
Yeah.
Is that also going to be a meaningless job? Like,
by this person's logic, that's just going to be a meaningless job because, like, you can just sit at home and get paid to do nothing.
What if I like my job? Direct socialist.
Okay, let's continue with this.
For little pay, no security, and bad benefits. And once they're on the job, jobs for little pay.
A little pay, well, I guess depends. Like, if you have skills that very other few people have, then you get much higher pay. If you have skills that almost everyone can do, then let's be honest, you're not worth that much to society. Like, if you're like doing a job, you're complaining about how hard it is. Well, ask yourself this: can anyone else do that job? That's why things like accountants, engineers, like economists, they get paid much more, while like restaurant workers, like they get paid much less because they don't have the skills yet. I mean, they can move up though, but like for the time being, it makes sense to pay them less because of the forces of supply and demand.
Also, a lot of these workers are probably working part time. Like in my university, and like a lot of people I know are working like McDonald's, but they work like part time because it's not feasible to work these kind of jobs full time. I think if you're working these kind of jobs full time, you should really try considering like a better job where you may get better pay, because at the end of the day, this is not an extremely high demand job. This is a job at the end. This is a job that can be replaced by robots, and it's a natural consequence again. So like at this stage, you should consider maybe getting a better job. Then if you shouldn't work these kind of jobs full time because they're not that like.
And also, she talks about like these jobs as if everyone in America has these jobs. Like, and she like how she says little pay. This is like an entry level job. And she's acting as if like people who are supporting families of 4 have these jobs.
Yeah, and only like I think only about 1.9% of America makes minimum wage. I don't know if that's full time or not, but like it's not a very high percentage.
And also, like, we wouldn't like have to raise the minimum wage if we didn't have like these left-leaning policies that increase the cost of living. I mean, left-leaning policies are demand-side policies, and demand-side policies increase inflation, while supply-side policies, the ones that we advocate for, the problem with them is that the benefits have a timeline. They take time to like appear, but in the end, those are real benefits. They will occur, and we don't have inflation. Like, demand side policies are quick fixes that don't address the underlying problems. And like things like rent control increases the cost of living, and it's no surprise that they're occurring in these crazy blue states, economic blue states, and that many are like flocking to the much more economically lovely red states with much lower cost of living. Yeah, I'm gonna continue right now. We spent like I think we like spent like 10 minutes on like 20 seconds of the video. Like, I think we need to speed up a tad bit, but okay.
No security and bad benefits. And once they're on the job.
no security again, and like you do have wage security, and like and also I think she's talking about the idea of the business can fire you at any time, but this ignores the idea of like labor contracts, and also the idea of how like you may be a very decent employer. It's very hard to hence the quote, it's very hard to find good work these days. And
Yeah,
if you're
and
a decent,
also your conditions on the job are dependent on the contract you negotiate.
Yeah.
yeah,
So if you're not able to negotiate the contract, that's on you.
I guess you're dissing a bit on women, considering that one of the reasons why there's a gender pay gap is because like women don't negotiate as well as men.
Actually, they found I think I read a study which found that in more collectivist societies, women are actually better at negotiating.
Oh, okay. That must
Yeah.
be why they want collectivism.
I mean,
Okay.
collectivism.
Go on.
No, nothing. I'm just saying collectivism is good.
Good. Based. Communism is based. Okay,
Great.
now, all right. So, what was I about to say? So, also, like, if you're a good worker, like over time, you become much more valuable, to the business. It basically depends on like how good the work is. If like most people are really decent, workers, then you should worry more about like security. But like if like there are very if like the quality of labor is really bad, then like this uh, then I don't know, or actually no, if the supply of labor is much lower, then in a businesses, then you have much better like labor security, because like more businesses will have to compete for you. However, if the supply of labor is much higher, then or, or businesses have much more bargaining power. So the bargaining power of businesses depends on like skill of labor and quantity of labor. Okay, so what's next?
Jobs for little pay, no security, and bad benefits.
Yeah, but I guess the benefits like refers to like the American system. Yeah, the American system of like healthcare, but apparently that was started by FDR, and apparently Dropware apparently like hates it. So I guess we should like look into like the idea of like benefits more.
And once they're on the job, that lack of freedom only gets worse. When we go to work, we check our hard-won rights at the door, and your employers rule over you night and day. Big corporations like Amazon punish workers for speaking out. Many corporations are
Okay, actually, let me just
now
to a degree that's sort of true. Like they do tell you what you can and can't work, but at the same time, if you think that they're being too authoritarian, or you're right, they think they're too rigid, get a better job. You're not forced to work for this company. That companies need workers, and they're gonna try and compete to make sure that workers actually are good, right? Like the conditions that they work in the company is good. That's one of the aspects of a free market. They need workers. If you're treating your employers like crap, I was gonna say the S word, but I didn't. If you're treating your employers badly, then it's not going to be beneficial to you at the end of the day, right? You want your employees to be treated as well as possible. Therefore, so that you actually have people working for you. That's especially true for higher paying jobs. The more higher job the higher paying your job is, the more sort of the what was it? I forgot. Yeah, but like the more negotiating power you have. Yeah.
Yeah, and
bargaining
also I'd
power.
like to point out one thing, which is that this is all consensual. It's not authoritarian because you agreed to this.
Yeah, and
Like you're getting paid for this because you agreed. Similarly, certain liberties are curtailed because you agreed.
Okay, it's like the six saying, "Oh, I'm forced to make a hamburger because I work for a hamburger company. Therefore, I'm being oppressed." Like, yeah, you're being paid to make hamburgers.
um yeah, so okay, so let's see what else.
like Amazon punish workers for speaking out. Many corporations are now spying on workers' political activities. They intrude into people's private lives, monitor their social media, and regulate their breaks.
Okay, so like yeah, the part about like social media, like what could I mean like to what extent does this happen is the question. Like that's I guess that's one of the reasons why it's helpful for why you guys are here, since I don't have as much of the point against that.
Yeah. So like when it comes to stuff like spying, like if the company is spying on you, first of all, again, you can get another job, but secondly, you have a right to privacy. If a company is violating your right to privacy, you can you can sue them, right? And companies can get sued, and companies do lose lawsuits, right? It's not. And also when it comes to stuff like companies spying over your social media, thanks for saying my cancel culture is bad. But let's hope that the gravel.
Exactly.
This is
Yeah,
one of
that's
the
what I
things
was thinking.
Employers fire people for saying stuff on Twitter. But let's hope that Gravel Institute is actually consistent on this. And not like, oh, it's a private company.
No. Apparently, no. Apparently, it's just consequence culture then.
Consequence culture. Right.
Yeah, consequence culture. When Lindsay Ellis said some anti-Asian tweet, exactly. I agree. Consequences for her.
It's not cancel culture. We're just gonna make sure that you get banned and say, oh, it's a consequence. It's your consequence. You have to face your consequences, and you get so banned from social media. Oh, it's a private company. But we're also left wing, guys.
Yeah. Also, when Surfs got banned, he deserved on Twitter. He got consequences. Simple as. Yeah. So.
In poultry plants across the country, workers are penalized for simply using the bathroom, to the point that they wear adult diapers and avoid drinking water so as to keep working.
Okay, wait. One point on this. This like clearly shows her intelligence. If you work in the poultry industry, you are handling people's food. You are touching. Your hands are touching food that will then be eaten by people. So do you then think that it's smart to then go into the bathroom, be exposed to germs, and then continue working?
Yes. Yeah, people say we need regulations to keep our food safe. What about this? This actually also keeps our food safe, and also this is one industry. Yeah,
That's a good point. There are numerous industries where there are similar things like this, which will be twisted by people like this to seem as like them being authoritarian.
Yep.
That's not freedom. And when the boss decides to fire you, there's no due process. Like a feudal lord, he can fire and punish workers at will. In practice, American workplaces.
All right, so let's see on the idea of like due process of that. I feel like there's some point that I'm trying to get to. All right, so due process what? Let's see, like
you're engaging in a contract at the same time, right? Again, if you want to start a company where you can where the firing process is due process, like there's a due process when it comes to firing, and like the workers get to decide, go for it. Like that's not an argument against capitalism. You're arguing against a very specific type of business. But these kind of businesses can exist under capitalism.
Also, private contracts are like enforced by the law, by the police. So
exactly.
If you are like, if the employer breaks the contract, then guess what? You can use a legal system. You can ask the police. You can fight back. So there is, technically to an extent, a due process. It depends on what's in the contract.
Yeah, and like these people, wait, just one point. These people have like an idealistic notion of how firing works. Like how in movies you just get fired and you leave the next day. No, you have like, how do you say, termination?
Yeah, you
get
have like what, a
notices
week
where,
or something?
You have a week or 2 weeks to go.
Yeah, like a fish a certain amount of time to like find a job as well. I mean, okay, so
governments where the freedoms we associate with democracy don't exist.
Democracy, like I'm not gonna go full on like Stephen Crowder or preview where I say democracy bad because majority rule. Like I believe in democracy, but here's the thing: I also believe in freedom, and just because there's a democracy doesn't mean like it's automatically good. Like you can democratically choose to like be authoritarian. You can democratically choose to take away people's rights. It's
so
and like wait, what?
No, I was saying, yeah, you're correct. I was saying you're correct.
All right, so
also, there's one point that I'd like to bring up, which is that I would assume that the person making this video doesn't like guns or doesn't like people carrying around guns, which you can do in a lot of places in America. So if I were to walk into her house with a gun, wouldn't she have the right to say, please keep the gun outside?
Yes, it's a property.
Yeah.
Property rights.
But so isn't it technically oppressive for a company to do that by her logic?
So I don't think socialists even like
Yeah.
I don't think socialists like private property.
Yeah.
Like I think socialists like guns, though. This is a big difference between the American far left and the American center left. The center left are annoyingly more anti-gun, which
Anti-gun,
cringe.
yeah.
But like the American far left realize they need guns for a revolution, which I don't agree with. But the guns part is a base, so I'll agree with them on that. But let's see. What else? Like
Guns
Hitler.
capitalism and stuff is stupid as hell. Guns should be used mainly for self-defense.
Like also like democracy. I know that like technically in a way that democracy didn't technically bring like the Nazis into power in like Germany. It brought like the German Conservative Party in, and they made a pact with like Hitler. But like still, again, democracies can make bad decisions, and like well, let's see, in the UK, like the British left say that we shouldn't have had we shouldn't follow the democratic vote of people voting Brexit. And by that implication, democracy in that instance is bad. So already, like sections of the left believe that democracy, in certain instances, is bad. Like I agree with Brexit, and I think like it's better to have like a representative democracy rather than a pure democracy because also like democracy has sometimes it takes like times to do actions with each democratic like component and like sometimes you need to like act very fast and with like the free market can act much faster than a democracy. So there's that. And actually, I'm gonna bring a tweet in. Hopefully, we have enough time to like show that PragerU tweet that I was talking to Connor about.
When we clock in, we become subjects, not citizens.
Cringe.
Without anti-monopoly regulations to restrict their size, or labor unions to contest their power over employees.
Can you pause it for a second?
Hmm?
A lot of these regulations that are meant for like being anti-monopoly just end up hurting small businesses. Right?
Yeah.
It's gonna make you need a less barrier entry. You need to make it easier to run businesses. Otherwise, you're gonna have like big companies that can either evade it or have already got to the point where it doesn't really matter. They're gonna be profitable anyway, and you're gonna have small businesses that are just going to struggle. So make it easier.
And also, small business. I mean, also monopolies aren't necessarily all that bad because like the excess profits they have, they can reinvest that into research and development. Small businesses and perfect competition may not be able to like spend that much money on research and development. And monopolies also like have economies of scale. Well, economies of scale is basically fall in the long run costs, average costs when like a business like increases their size and like uh basic I've explained this like before. I think it will be too long to explain it here, but like to put it simply, like businesses can decrease their costs over time, decrease their costs if they get bigger, and if they decrease their costs, that means there's more room to like decrease prices. Is yeah, so they basically have dynamic efficiency and like economies of scale. And also like a business and a monopoly may be there because they managed to succeed in being the better like having the better product, and because they had the much better product, like that caused like other businesses to like fail. And also monopolies may not always exist. Like Stephen Michael Davis made that video about like how what was the like business before Netflix, like
Blockbuster, yeah.
yeah, and that was basically considered like a monopoly a bit. And same with Walmart and Blockbuster, they were both like considered big monopolies at the time. Maybe I don't know about like Blockbuster being like people being friendly by them, but Walmart people were definitely friendly by. Then guess what, Amazon came, Netflix came. They defeated like they basically destroyed Blockbuster with like creative destruction. And like Walmart been taking some hits thanks to like Amazon. I think Walmart is basically have a new plan to like deal with them, but Amazon countered back with minimum wage regulation. Like I'll get into that in a future video. Actually, I'm gonna continue on with this.
To contest their power over employees. Corporate or labor unions to contest their power over employees.
Labor unions can be private, and also yeah, they're perfect for like monopolies. Basically, the sole supplier of labor. I guess I'll get into that in a future video as well. But yeah, labor unions can also like hurt businesses as well. But like, yeah, with a monopoly, a labor union and a monopoly, they're perfect for each other. They both suck, therefore, they deserve each other, honestly, and that will be better for society.
I sort of think unions should exist, actually. Like I have no issues with the unions existing, because I feel that if people want to like get together and demand better living conditions or better working conditions, then sure, yeah, it's up to them. Like it's a free market. We shouldn't have like law that are anti-union, right?
Yeah.
That's
Corporations and their wealthy CEOs have as much power over ordinary people as any government agency, if not more. Despite
wrong. And I've been trying to do that Donald Trump meme of wrong. Like, no, but the government has way more control over you than corporations. And also, government.
She mentioned spying before, right? The NSA does all of that with my emails.
And also,
the United
like,
States government also spies on people.
And also, like, businesses
the United
become.
Government spies on people.
Also, businesses can become more powerful due to like governments helping them out either through subsidies or through like regulations that hurt smaller businesses, which causes them to like fail in the first place, increasing their monopoly power ironically.
The lie that our market is free, most industries are dominated by a few massive firms.
Hold on, pause it for a second.
Yeah.
Are free markets bad, or do we not live in a free market? Can we clarify this for a second? Can they clarify? Do we live in a free market, and is a free market bad, or do we not live in a free market and we should live in a more free market to remove these issues? What are you arguing here?
Maybe she's arguing for less regulation. In that case, maybe she's against the minimum wage based travel institute. Way
like Richard Wolff would do the same thing. Richard Wolff would be like, "Oh, free market capitalism in US has hurt so many people," and then he'll also claim that United States is not a free market, capitalism is not a free market. Then what are you arguing against? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the C word, CRAP, that I consider a swear word anyway. You said it. Okay. We're very bad at not swearing on my stream. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't swear in this stream so far, at least. Hopefully, I don't swear for the rest of the stream.
Can you make it a bit faster? Maybe the video 1.5, so we can get through it faster.
No, don't do it. Keep it at this speed only. This is fine enough.
There's still 2 minutes left. The only problem is us. We take 10 minutes for every 1 minute of this video. Minimum, so that's the only problem.
Keep it at the speed only. I don't see any issue with that.
Yeah.
We can maybe go. We can go a bit faster, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe we can try to maybe speak less. So, all right. But yeah, let's see.
Corporations control office supplies. 5 corporations control food. 2 corporations dominate retail. 4 corporations control home internet. 1 corporation dominates books.
Okay, you said that Amazon has 50% of the market. Were you talking about books or something else?
I was talking about e-commerce. Apparently, according to a Robert Reich video, it's 50% of e-commerce sales from Amazon.
Okay, I think I need some fact check, but we've debunked the ideas of monopolies and stuff in this stream. So I'm gonna continue.
Also, I want to bring up a quick point. People claim that Amazon is a monopoly and therefore they can't come. No other bookstore can compete. When Bezos first started as a book company, everyone thought he was crazy because he was competing against Barnes and Nobles. No one thought he could compete against Barnes and Nobles, but he did. Right?
The funny thing is, do you know how effective Amazon was against Barnes and Nobles? this is the first time I'm hearing about Barnes and Noble. That's how effective he was.
Yeah,
he
and
raised the competition.
Yeah, like and at the time everyone was like, you can't compete against Barnes and Noble. Like a lot of people like, you can't compete against these big stores, but you can. People do compete against them. That's the point.
Yeah, there are monopolies like from 10, 20 years ago that no one that like the new generation of people have never heard of now.
Businesses have their cycles. Like they'll peak at one point and then dip. But what these socialists only see is that when they dip and they'll like stay at the top forever.
Mm-hmm.
Competition, the status quo is monopoly control. Huge
cringe, and we've debunked this before.
Corporations set the terms and manage the economy from their perch at the top of the market, deciding who succeeds and who fails. When Facebook decides to promote a political agenda to benefit itself.
A political agenda like banning the president of the United States. I don't like that, but Facebook is a private company. They can do what they want. But I think this should talk about how we should rely less on like technology as conservatives of all people, because like 10 years ago, we conservatives were the ones that were saying our kids should stop like being on like the internet and stuff. And now, boy, things have like changed. Now we're like complaining about like being banned off Twitter. Like, I get it, being banned off Twitter like sucks and stuff, but like our lives shouldn't have been like.
What was Gravel Institute's response when Trump got banned from Twitter? I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious.
Yeah.
What they must have been an outrage, because it's a private company showing their monopolistic power to ban the president of the US. But what did they say? What did they actually say? I don't even know.
Yeah, and also one point I'd like to add, she's probably hinting at the Russia investigation, because I don't think she'd be outraged at what you just mentioned. But Russia, like their bots were confirmed to have only spent $11,000 on advertising in total, which is basically nothing.
Yeah, $11,000. That wouldn't be enough to like change the election. And also like the electoral college was a way much more significant factor like in the election, and also like what like some of those like ads were like may have benefits like the Democratic Party, because it was showing like basically one of those guys who was shot by the police, an African American, one of the African Americans, like held up by like the left as being a victim of police brutality. So actually, I'm gonna continue with this.
Who can stop them? When Amazon decides it doesn't like a particular book, that book can vanish from the place most everyone buys books.
Oh, you know what's funny? Basically, like they banned Tommy Robinson's book, but like Hitler's book. What was his book called again?
Mein Kampf.
Yeah, that was still there. Like
that was Jordan Peterson. That was not Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like now Amazon is promoting like Jordan Peterson's book. Like, I've seen it in ads, so I think I find that kind of funny.
Epic, bro. Based Amazon. Based.
Based.
Favorite lobster daddy.
Yeah.
When Pfizer decides to raise insulin prices ahead of a shareholders meeting, it's done. And people die as a result. Every day. Decision.
Okay, so what do you think about the healthcare point?
So about this, I don't think that she's read enough about certain FDA regulations that are present in knockout competition. Like, there are a few stories about like certain children who need medication for like very rare conditions, and they need to go to Mexico or to get that certain care because that care is banned in the USA. Like, for those of you who've seen Dallas Buyers Club, the part where he goes to Mexico to get a treatment for AIDS that is banned in the US, that's actually a true story of how like the FDA banned a certain drug and like people died as a result. So like while she may have good intentions, she doesn't realize that some of the policies she has like have bad outcomes.
Also, fun fact, the COVID vaccine was made in 2 days, but FDA regulations and like so many testing they had to do, and they had to wait like a month for testing, made the vaccine only come out after 10 months. Like, because I think I don't know which company did. I don't know if it was Pfizer or not, but because they were making the mRNA vaccine, all they needed was to have the genome of the COVID vaccine. But once they got the genome, once China released the genome of the vaccine, they were able to like immediately make a vaccine. But FDA regulations like made it take so long, right? So yeah, that also killed people. FDA regulations are bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also like going to look into that this recent article where it explains, like, that Martin Squilly or something, the guy that was attacked for like price gouging. Apparently there was some yeah, I'm gonna look into that article and maybe like use that article to respond to like Polydice on his video on price gouging. Yeah, yeah, I've been basically saying about a lot of videos I'm gonna do in the future. So in this stream,
decisions that affect millions of people are made not by everyone in a democratic manner, but by unelected people who have profits and not the well-being of others in mind.
Democracy isn't always good. Sometimes it can be used for nefarious purposes. Okay, so
That's the
Wait, one minute. I'd like to point out one thing, which is that what's wrong in having profit in mind?
Nothing.
Like, yeah, like you say, like they use, this is how these people trick you. They use buzzwords like profit, and then you subconsciously relate that to a negative thing, but they don't justify why profit is bad. Like,
can I say something?
it's
of course.
this person's logic would equate to like writing an exam but hoping you only get half the questions right.
Yeah, and I'd also like to say that in this pandemic, there are a lot of companies that largely benefited. A lot of people are saying Amazon and Netflix, they got so rich during the pandemic. Yeah, because people needed them. People watch Netflix to keep themselves occupied during the pandemic, during the lockdown. People need Amazon because they need more online deliveries during that time. They also got more profits, sure, but they also helped so many people. That's why they got those profits, right? So like this is like all these disdain for these companies, but at the end of the day, they're actually helping people. That's why I buy Amazon, because they're helping me at the end of the day.
And
right?
also, like, the lockdowns are government regulations. Government regulations are also helping Amazon. Like, if like I understand the need for the lockdowns. I don't think they should be here. Like, I think they usually should have been like here for like 2 months. But like we can argue about the COVID response and who messed it and whatever. But like, yeah, like if you want general rule, if you want, don't want businesses like monopolies to succeed, the one way is to like stop with so many regulations. But anyway, I'm going to continue.
Part of our system, profits and not the well-being of others in mind. That's the problem at the heart of our system. Elected officials are always expressing concern about government intrusion into our private lives. But they're happy to let corporations take advantage of us in ways that would be unconstitutional for any democratic government.
Oh, you mean like government?
That it's government that's letting people do this? That's the fault of the government then. Government is big businesses in order for them to do shady shit together. Yeah, that's a problem. That's like every libertarian says that's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah, one more thing, which is that, like, she says that the collusion is capitalism. It is not capitalist by definition because it is using government power.
Marx called it corporatism also, but that's apparently a fascist economic system. But I think the correct phrase would be state capitalism. But yeah, and I'm gonna like look probably like go into that state capitalism in future videos as well as corporatism. Yeah, I keep on like saying, like, promoting future videos for some reason in this stream. Like, I've promoted like 4 already.
The hard truth is that despite what you hear, the modern American economy is not about the freedom to choose. In job markets, where you either get a job or you die.
And we debunked that.
And
I mean, like, well, even actually, we don't know about that. Like, the welfare, the stupid welfare state, like, has messed that up, whereas actually led to like, more, fatherlessness, and also like, allowing you to be lazy.
Yeah, and I'd still like an answer to what is the third option?
Oh,
Like,
actually,
if you were to think of a third option, what would it be?
Oh wait, there is a third option, like homelessness. In America, you could be homeless, and if you beg, you would probably get enough to like eat. So even then, like if
Yeah,
you
but even then, the people giving you money would need jobs.
Yeah, they're having jobs they're able to give you.
Yeah.
Even if you live in an agrarian, or a hunter-gatherer society, then you need to work. Someone's going to work, right?
And also, like, there's charity, and also you could ask like your friends for or family for help. Like, these people are so like binary focused, even though like they're the type of people that would say like sex isn't binary. So yeah, that's and that the Republicans are always too like simplistic and like only for like binary concepts. So yeah, they're pretty like
economics.
Yeah, they're pretty like morally, overly simplistic in many ways.
In workplaces where the boss is king, and in marketplaces dominated by huge abusive monopolies, you don't have much of a choice at all. I'm Zephyr Teachout, professor of law at Fordham Law School for the Gravel Institute.
Yes, great. Now you're stealing PragerU's thing. You're stealing like some of the like bad like information and like this bad dishonest like framing and misunderstanding of like basic concepts and straw mans. But yeah, great. Okay, yeah, now it's
Thank you for watching this video. If you believe in our mission, please consider becoming a patron of the Institute or making a one-time contribution.
Oh wait, there's in economics we have a thing called like
I'm forced to either work and stuff. What are you? They're complicit in the system. How can I give money to Gravel Institute if I'm being forced into work?
Yeah. In economics, there's a third sector called charity. This may be it. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the Gravel Institute is technically stealing from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, why aren't they giving us their Patreons for free?
Yeah. Why don't they equally distribute among all the subscribers?
Yeah. Wait, you wanted to pull up that PragerU tweet, right?
Oh yes, sure thing.
No,
let's see.
PragerU's Twitter is just the saddest thing ever. Like, it has such a dead reply section.
Well, actually, like first there's the Gravel Institute quote tweet of PragerU, where basically PragerU says that Israel is the only democracy is in the Middle East, which is important, and it's a Jewish one, and with like equal rights for its minorities, at least theoretically. And then Gravel Institutes basically says some random like South African like activists, like apartheid activists, who I assume is a good person, who described Israel as an apartheid state that could be like Desmond Tutu could be like a far lefty for all we know, but like this is how incompetent Gravel Institute is. Let's see, this. America is not a democracy. America is a republic. The founders had no intention of creating a pure majority rule democracy. They knew pure democracies don't work, they implode. So this is cringe because this this tweet by PragerU shows that no matter what they say on the inside, they believe democracy works. The reason they say constitutional republic is because constitutional republic is a type of democracy, a representative democracy, but still a democracy. And so okay, so
they have 424 likes. How many followers do they have?
Oh no, 400.
Gravel's guy has 8,000. Oh my god.
No, but like once again, that's the thing about Gravel, right? They're new, so like this thing. They're new, so like they have a bit of traction.
Twitter is just a bunch of communists, dude. It's pissing off. I hate it so much.
Yeah, like PragerU has 500k followers, like while Gravel Institute has 330k followers. So
hey, left right partisan posting their ads online. That's my second account.
Yeah.
It's dead though. I haven't.
Yeah, like
ConnorSays.
Like,
you don't want to know how many second accounts I have.
And how many deleted accounts do you have, Connor? No, Rohan.
I have like, I think 4.
Wait, Chunk Yogurt, Rohan Nawal, Christinom, and Invictus Media, right?
No, I had one Rohan before that also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's how we met. Like Rohan said.
Yeah, we met on that account first, right?
Yeah, which one of you met me first?
I think it was Rohan.
Yeah,
I think Rohan, I met you first.
Yeah, so when did we meet again? You DM'd me. I knew you liked the tweet. Then you DM'd me. I think it was Actual Justice Warrior. Actually, how did you guys meet?
Yeah, we met on AJW's Discord, I think.
Yeah, Actual Justice Warrior's Discord.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, so you're both part of his Discord? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not active on it much anymore. I used to be.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I created a new Invictus HQ, Invictus Media Discord, and I'm planning on making Rohan the second base lead. Well, both me and Rohan will be the base leader of that Discord because, one, I created it, and 2, Rohan has the Invictus Media Twitter account. Yeah. So I guess.
Oh yeah, sorry about the delay for this thing for the website. I'm trying to get a .com domain. Yeah. So that's gonna take some time.
Okay then, we'll make our comeback later. Also Toasted, yes. All right, so Toasted has a new channel. Guys, I really hope you wait this. Oh wait, let me just okay, fudge. Can someone yeah, I don't want to oh yeah, this is Toasted. Yeah, please follow him, and also please follow Rohan's account, Invictus Media. We're trying to get
more followers, I guess.
Yeah, we're trying to get him to 100 followers so we can start a YouTube channel. Yeah, there's some stuff I want to talk to you about in the channel. So yeah, we hoping to create a new YouTube channel, and also let's see, Red Phoenix Rises. Yeah, my friend Red Phoenix Rises, his YouTube channel. You can follow him if you want, and subscribe to him. Yeah, and also guys, I managed to get free subscribers in a matter of 7 hours. That's more subscribers than I got in my first 7 months. So things have changed so much.
Yeah. Once you start getting some subscribers, it starts becoming faster.
Yeah, I've been my channel's been dying mostly because I haven't posted it for 5 months. 5 weeks because of exams. Yeah, that's it. But this week I gone from 85 subscribers to 91 subscribers. So something's been increasing my speed, and so yeah, and yeah, I like that live stream. Also yeah, I'm hoping yeah, I have some ideas for new channel ideas. I don't want to maybe speak about them all in public. Yeah, I want to speak to that too, Rohan, about the new Invictus Media YouTube channel. I don't know when, but seriously, follow Invictus Media if anyone's like that, and follow Toasted, was Toasted's channel. But I'm trying to think. Can someone go to our DMs, because I don't want to show our DMs on live.
Yeah.
Wait,
you want me
and
to
then
send
post it on the post it on the private chat.
See if I can find it. You know the name of the channel?
It's just called Toasted. He sent it on our DMs, in our Twitter DM, posted in the private chat so I can show the whole audience.
I don't. Let me see if I can find it.
It might be a bit further in, but it has Toasted's elephant icon. And also the reason we're doing this is because I think a week ago YouTube for some reason like deleted like Toasted's channel for some reason, even though he hadn't got any strikes, which sucks because he had like 1,000 subs in there. So yeah, I guess yeah, YouTube's been quite like unfair like with its policies.
I posted it, by the way.
All right, good. Okay, so all right, okay, good. Yeah, this is Toasted's channel. Please, subscribe to him. I don't know when he's gonna put content out, but I assume it's gonna be
He
great.
used to have 1,000 subs on his whole channel, right?
Yeah. That's what sucks about it most.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess like do you want guys want to like end the stream now?
Yeah, I think we can end it now. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Tarun,
Yes.
thanks for having me on.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming here, guys.
Sorry for swearing, by the
It's
way.
been like great talking to you guys. I've like only talking to like Connor a few times, and I've only like talked to Rohan like once on Discord. So yeah, and so like Rohan, this is like your first stream with like us guys, right? Because you weren't able to like come to like the American streams. Yeah. So yeah, I guess thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to Toasted and Red Phoenix Rises, and follow Invictus Media. And I guess bye for now. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you like my content, and give a like on this video. And bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.